Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. This is Quace Sports. We are going to talk about some epic, awesome advice on some NFL picks, sleepers, super sleepers, odds, Vegas picks, things like that to get the week started. It's week 14 and we are ready to rock and roll. Let's do it.
Yeah. First of all, like I like to talk about the injury report. Some notable injuries with some key players. We have T.Y. Hilton. It looked like he will be starting, and Kiki looked like he will be questionable from the Texans. We have from the Panthers. It looked like Graham Cano, the kicker. He looked questionable, close to doubtful. So be on the lookout for that. And you have the as far as the Saints and the Bucks, Djax look like he will be out again. So more play for your boy Goodwin. And with Jets and Bills, Isaiah Colwell is questionable. Derek Anderson will be out. Pats look like as long as they getting healthier, but Stephen Gilmore is questionable, and Danny Amendola from that game is also questionable. Which then Amendola is going back to playing the Patriots, so be on the lookout for that. Rams and Bears, Trubisky looked like he will be playing today, so good news for the Bears. Odell Beckham is out for the Giants today, and Jack Jackson is questionable from the Redskins. Pierre Garçon is out. Matt Breida is out for the 49ers. And as far as like the Lions, it looked like Kerryon Johnson is out, and Eagles still, plenty of injuries for the Eagles. Jordan Hicks and Jalen Mills is out, and Michael Bennett is questionable. And we have for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin is out. The tight end Swain is out. Sean Lee is also out. I don't think that's a bad thing for them. And now we have questionable. We have Tyron Smith is questionable again this week. And Michael Gallat is questionable. And Steelers, of course, James Conner is still out. Raiders, Doug Martin is questionable. And last but not least, you have Doug Baldwin from the Seahawks is also questionable. So that's all I have for the injury report.
Awesome. So, that's great. I love it. I appreciate the injury report. And next, we're going to move on to the games. Now, the first game I got up is New York Jets versus the Bills. Okay. So, on the next 5 games, we're only going to spend about 1 minute on them because we don't believe that they're going to be profitable in this fantasy sports deal here that we got going on. So, Jets versus the Bills. The only thing I like from that game is the Bills quarterback. A lot of people are hyping up Zay Jones, who is a good wide receiver for the past past 3 weeks, actually. He's been caught 2 touchdowns last week. I just like the quarterback, how he plays. I missed out on him last week. I'm going to have him this week. All right. So that's all I have. The Jets are pretty banged up. They haven't showed me anything fantasy-wise. So I'm staying away from him.
Okay. I mean, I'm not big on this game neither. Whenever I'm not big on the game, I usually pick the defense. So we could move on to the next game.
Okay. Next game is New York Giants versus the Washington Redskins. New York Giants versus the Washington Redskins. You said Odell Beckham was out for the injury report. That's some interesting news there because I actually just picked up Eli Manning on my Yahoo Fantasy league that I'm in. He's projected to have 50 points in the Yahoo league. So I might have to take him back off because of that injury. But as far as DraftKings, I'm not really big on anybody but Saquon Barkley. Washington hasn't proven anything fantasy-wise for me, any big, deep threats. Plus, they have Mark Sanchez, and he's new, and I'm not big on Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Just thinking about his most common play. We got to talk about it.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
messing with Barkley that for that game.
Nah, I do like Barkley. I mean, come on,
Okay,
Barkley was a play. As much as it's
okay,
ball, and I mean,
right,
so Barkley's that's about it. I mean, Odell is
right,
out, so that make it much easier. And
right,
I'll
right.
in Peterson. So
Okay. Our next game is Denver Broncos versus the San Francisco 49ers. Denver Broncos versus the San Francisco 49ers. So what's the first thing that comes to your head when you hear those two names?
uh Philip Renzi.
Oh yeah, that guy is actually pretty decent.
Yes, yes.
He actually, yeah, he got heart too. He runs nice.
Yeah. And with so many injuries on the Broncos, I also think about the what's his name? The right receiver from the Broncos.
Cortland Sutton or Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders is hurt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cortland Sutton. That's what
Cortland Sutton, yeah, Cortland Sutton.
so I like him a lot this week. He's
Eh,
probably gonna be highly owned, but
Yeah, he's going to be highly owned, and he's not going to be the guy. It's probably going to be Deshaun Hamilton, the other guy on the other side. You know what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah.
'Cause they're going to be focused on Cortland Sutton a lot. And 49ers still have Matt Breida. He hasn't really done too much. He only has 3 touchdowns for the year.
Man,
So
Peter is out.
he's out.
Yes. They're
Oh, I
out.
missed that. Oh my
Injury.
God, good looking.
Yeah. So
Oh,
out. And
uh,
Cutland Sutton, like yeah, what you say about Cutland Sutton sound good too, because I mean you have to remember they have Richard Sherman. He's playing really good, surprisingly.
he
Coming
is.
Achilles ill, so
That's true. I forgot about that.
so
The the what's it called? The Broncos actually have a pretty decent defense, except for their points per game. They allow 20. They're 29th in points per game,
wow.
which is interesting. So there might be a lot of points. Also, I like Nick Mullins for fantasy wise. I think he's a sleeper.
Okay.
Him and George Kittle stack.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And I also like the wide receiver. He's coming back. The fast wide receiver. His name is Marquise Godwin. Not Godwin. Is it Goodwin? Two
Yeah.
O's.
Okay.
Good. He's fast, so I like him. Also, sorry, Dante Pettis been getting me money, but Pettis has been getting me good money when Marquise Goodwin was out. So I don't think Pettis is a good pick this week. But Mullins likes Pettis, so he still might go to her. We don't know.
Okay.
Moving on. Uh, Detroit versus Arizona. Ew. Detroit versus Arizona. So the Lions versus the Cardinals.
Yeah. How you about that game?
The Cardinals coming off a win. Nobody has any faith in the Lions defense. Um, Only thing I like is Kerryon Johnson playing. Did you say he was out?
Yes. Karen Johnson is out.
You know what? I don't have the Vegas odds up. Do you know the odds for that game?
Um.
Apparently, it's two first-year coaches going against each other.
So they have Detroit is a 2.5 point favorite.
Okay, I figured that.
Yeah, and then over under is 40.5. So
40 and a half.
yes.
Yeah, kind of stayed away. No wonder we're only spending a minute. I don't have anybody big on here. I like Kenny Galladay, if
Mhm.
that. Fitzgerald, he catches touchdowns, but he don't got a lot of yards sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, just Galladay or B Ellington. But your boy Peterson gonna be on Galladay, so actually that might be a bad pick.
Yeah, I mean Galladay haven't been doing so well.
Yeah.
So
He hasn't, not at all. So moving on. um, the other game is
Bengals and Chargers, right?
yes, Bengals and Chargers. So according to the stats, the Bengals have not been doing well defensively as far as passing, rushing. Their defense is a little bit banged up. So um, a lot of people are targeting this game because of the high offense the Chargers has been having lately. Melvin Gordon is out, correct?
Yes. Yes.
All right, so Melvin Gordon is out. I'm I'm not big on Eckler like
Mm-hmm.
I normally am. I'm big on the second running back. His last name is Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
It's Dave Jackson. So I'm going to be huge on him this week. It's always the second running backs that always do well when you don't expect it. Also, they're saying Keenan Allen has a really good matchup as far as quarterback. Um, I'm looking at some advanced statistics. Keenan Allen is playing against Marquise Dennard, who has a really bad rating as a quarterback. All right. And plus, Keenan Allen gets a lot of targets. So people are big on Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
Um, so
I,
yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna
not
have a little bit of Keenan Allen.
I'm not really big on Keenan Allen. That game is like kind of like um not scary, but it's just like Philip Rivers when he looked like he should have a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Really had a great game, so that kind of made me hesitant on picking uh, Chargers players. But I mean, if Chargers know what's good for them, especially like last week, you see how like Justin Jackson did well. I feel like they should actually play Justin Jackson to Melvin Gordon wall more, and then bring
Right.
in. I mean, probably not as much, but probably bring in Austin as the more like the third down back,
Right.
some extra stuff. So Eckler could be in his comfortable position. So that's all.
Yeah. And I feel the same way because this seems like too good to be true type of matchup. Like you got one of the best top five offenses versus like one of the worst defenses. And it's seems too good to be true. And whenever that happens, sometimes it doesn't play out like expected.
Most of
Um,
the time it does.
yeah, most of the time. So, what is the spread on that, by the way?
um, um, I'm pretty sure Chargers big lead. Yep, Chargers 15 points favorite and over under
Woo,
48 and a half. So
woo,
it's
woo.
like telling you like what they think of the Bengals.
Exactly. You know who else I like? But see, now I'm thinking it might go that way, near that way, and they might just run the rock. So Justin Jackson might be a really good pick.
Uh-huh.
Um, Plus, at the end of the season, people don't want their players to get hurt. Um, so
But
also, I like Mike Williams from the Chargers too. That's my boy.
yeah,
Him and Tyrell Williams, both of them Williams brothers. They're not brothers, but
yeah.
I
Last
like.
name. But I like yeah, I like Justin Jackson in that matchup too.
Hmm. Moving on.
Yes, sir. Let's go to some games
All,
that matter. Oh, and
all right.
Chargers also like I feel like they will start resting players early too
That's
because
what I'm thinking. That's
they
what
have
I'm
like a
thinking.
big matchup coming up soon with the Chiefs for the division.
Right. Right. That's division right there. Yeah. Chargers defense is really good too. They got Bosa back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, and I've been big on Jay Driscoll for the Bengals because in my head, the Bengals aren't going to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he don't got nothing to lose, dog. He don't got nothing to lose. Whenever a quarterback don't got nothing to lose,
Yeah,
he's dangerous.
yeah. Everything in the
Dangerous.
game. Yep, I agree.
Everything is So, and I like how he plays. He averages about 230 yards per game. He just doesn't throw much touchdowns. AJ Green is out, so Tyler Boyd once again, but I'm gonna stay away from him this week.
We
I'm
learned
not
all.
messing. We learned our lesson. Yeah. Even Joe Mixon didn't do well last week. All right. So you pick the next game.
I mean, since we're in the Chargers, what other team is in like that division that we could talk about?
Chiefs, Raiders, and
The Chiefs game is such a good game, so let's do the Raiders first.
all right, Raiders it is. Raiders. Let me pull up my stats real quick.
You ready? I mean, we have the Steelers at the Raiders. So last week was very surprising with the Raiders. They actually put up a fight against the Chiefs. So,
They
but
did. They could have won the game.
yeah, but it was a division game. You know how it is with division games.
I got it. Yeah. Division games, they compete. They know. They know their rivals. The Pittsburgh are favorite -11
Okay.
or 10.5, depending on what line place you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, it's at the Raiders. Um, that seems like a gimme as well. It's like it's kind of scary, but the Raiders are playing better at the end of the week season.
Mm-hmm.
So Pittsburgh is known for keeping games close too.
Yeah.
Like the Jaguars almost blew them out, but they came back at the last second.
Yeah.
So I think this is a close game because the Raiders are playing better. I feel like the coach of the Raiders knows how to play against Ben Roethlisberger. It's one thing he knows is quarterbacks. Gruden.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, James Conner is out, like you said, right?
Yeah. James Conner is out still.
So you know who's going to be highly owned?
Who?
Stephen Ridley.
Mm. But they
Stephen
look
Ridley.
like the young boy getting the start. So
Oh, they giving him the start?
that's what it looked like. I mean, they haven't make a clear announcement who's starting, but
At first, I heard that they was split in times and they was going to get about 15 a pop, 15 carries. So I was going to stay away from it anyway, but I need to have a little bit of exposure to because the Steelers like running the ball too.
yeah, and what I like about the young guy, Jalen, right? I think that's his name. He's actually a good receiving running back.
He is?
Yeah, great.
Oh,
He did that a lot in college. That's like one of his
um,
top skills. And you know how much Steelers like the running backs that catch the ball from the backfield. Stephen Ridley more like a running back, traditional.
right.
So I probably
And it, go ahead.
that's how I probably will pick up Jalen instead of Ridley because I feel like
Uh,
upside on a PPR type league.
okay. What was I going to say? Forgot. Oh, they're cheap. Cheap running backs. If you need a cheap running back for your lineup on DraftKings, that's the way to go. I mean, Jalen Samuels, what are you about 3,700?
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
Stephen Ridley in the 3,000s as well. So cheap, cheap, cheap.
Yeah.
Doug Martin is out, right?
Yep.
I wouldn't play any Raiders running backs for now because I think they're gonna be throwing it a lot.
Yeah. I mean, Jaron.
Um,
I got some money on him last week. He did
oh
well.
yeah, Derek Cook did work last week.
I think he's in for another big game. You
Yeah.
like have the Steelers running backs? I mean, wide receivers.
Yes, I'm always big on Brown and Juju. They put
Oh,
up numbers every week consistently. Brown costs a little pricey though.
yeah, he's really expensive.
Yeah,
So
he's a little pricey. But yeah, it's gonna be Pittsburgh going Brown gonna have a touchdown. Juju gonna have a touchdown. And the running backs, one of the running backs gonna have it's gonna be 2 rushing touchdowns.
hmm. Okay, and what about the tight end?
I don't have no faith in the tight end anymore. I used to believe in him a lot. Didn't do much. I thought Roethlisberger and him had a connection. Sometimes, I mean, he gets like 4 receptions per game or something, but it's not enough for fantasy. It's better tight ends out there.
Yeah.
His price is not bad though. Yeah, it is 3,800. I wouldn't get him at 3,800.
Yeah, I spent up to get Gronkowski instead.
Right, right, right. I spent up to get Gronk.
Yeah. All right, move on to the next game.
Next game.
We have the Chiefs, and then we have what other teams in that division?
Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders. Was it Seattle? No,
No,
not Seattle. Um,
what division is this? I mean, we could just go to the Chiefs game. I mean, that's a really
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Chiefs.
Ravens, Chiefs. That's a big one.
Yes.
Ravens versus Chiefs. Huge. The over under is 51. I'm
Really?
shocked. The
Wow.
Ravens don't have much of an offense, but Lamar Jackson, I guess they're projecting him to do really well. Um, it's a running quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's a liability for me because he looks like the way he runs, he could get hurt. I don't want that to happen, but you know how dangerous it is being a running quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I mean, you see what Michael Vick told him.
yeah,
The
Michael
fight,
Vick told him.
you
He
know,
told him.
be caution.
Yeah, he told him. He wish he didn't do all that stuff in
Yeah.
his career.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, he's a good pick, especially like like Chiefs' biggest weakness. I know like the stats show that it's passing. I believe the biggest weakness is actually running. It's just like passing. It's like teams been down by so much points, so they've been
mhm.
trying to catch up, passing the ball a lot. But I think the biggest weakness is actually running, which is Ravens' offense strength. So it's making for a very intriguing matchup. So
It was. This is a good matchup. The Ravens had pretty really top, like number one in defense. They're pretty good. Um, Chiefs are one of the top offenses. Normally, when the top offense plays the top defense, I watched the stats. The history shows the top defense normally wins every single time. It's like crazy, the percentage. It's like almost every time the top defense wins. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens actually win this game. Um, but Lamar has to get that ball out of there. He has to throw it. He has to throw it. You can shake him up a little bit and throw the rock. No Kareem Hunt for the Chiefs, so the running game is going to be a little iffy,
mm-hmm.
which is not going to open up the passing game a lot. The defense is going to know exactly what to do. I mean, they got Tyreek Hill, though. Whew, that boy is nasty.
So you big on Tyreek Hill this week?
Yes, he's cheap to me, 8,000.
Ravens like as good as the defense is, like their biggest weakness is actually against tight end.
Really?
Yep, and who's the tight end for the Chiefs? So
I know, that's my boy, Travis Kelsey.
yeah, so I
I
mean,
feel like, go ahead.
I'm big on Travis Kelsey this week. I just feel like they'll be able to lock down Tyreek Hill. I mean, you can't let him burn you.
Yeah. I'm shocked that Travis Kelsey price went down after coming off of 2 touchdowns, possibly 3 touchdowns last week.
Mhm.
He would have had 3. I think they called it back or something happened.
Yeah.
But
I mean, whenever you play against a really good defense like that, Ravens is like number one in a lot of categories, especially against the pass. So I feel like
yeah.
they probably play a part of it. But the weakness in the passing game is tight end, which kind of
Uh,
knowing they have Suggs and all that. So
right. Suggs is still balling at a high level too. Um,
Hard University.
Also hard university. How you feel about because Lamar Jackson's so agile? You messing with the wide receivers?
Oh nah. Like I
Staying
don't.
away.
Yeah, I always stay away from running backs. I mean, quarterbacks that run the ball. I stay away from the receivers because
Yeah.
even though receiver have a good game, you have no idea who would have a good game.
You don't know who. You don't know who. Patrick Mahomes, though.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes is always a play, but he's also like the most expensive quarterback. So I feel like
Right.
he will put up a lot of points, but I feel like you could get just as much
Points with the
same
better
value.
back.
Yeah, with other quarterbacks. So I'm probably not
Yeah.
gonna play him as much. Cover a little bit because I'm big on Travis Kelce this week.
Yeah.
Trying to pick up a lineup with all those good running backs and Travis Kelce. I feel like I
Now,
probably
I would one of my sleepers for this game is Chris Conley. I don't know if he's much of a sleeper, but I think he's going to be the number two guy on the other side of Tyreek Hill, and he's been playing well. He's been playing well. People's only 3,800 on DraftKings.
oh okay.
Cheap.
Yep. Are you done with this game? Anything else you want to plug in for this game?
Honestly, Lamar Jackson has been on the Millie Maker once, and I don't think he's going to come back. So,
Oh,
I'm,
you know what's shocking? Because all the hype about Spencer Ware last week kind of die
yeah,
out.
exactly, exactly. I don't think people are going to be on him as much.
Yeah, yeah,
Then he goes for 2 touchdowns.
Hmm. Yeah,
He's cheap. Well, he's not cheap.
yeah,
5,200. That's ridiculous.
yeah. Are you done
All
with
right.
or you got
Yeah,
anything?
we can move on.
All right. I mean, next game, we have Panthers at Browns. That's actually turned out to be a really good matchup.
That's going to be a really nice game. I'm going to be watching that periodically. That seems like a really good matchup. You're right. First thing I think of is Baker Mayfield. I think he's going to have a ball. I think he's going to ball out. Uh, you got the boy Chubbs. He's been doing really well last 3-4 weeks. And but the Carolina has really good Russian defense because of Luke Kuechly. So I don't know. Every time I miss out on Chubbs, he does well. So I don't know what to do with him. Uh, but I like McCaffrey. Is always a play,
hmm
and Cam Newton is always a play.
Yeah, yeah. Cam Newton has Cam Newton been having like his best season this year. It doesn't seem like until last week was a horrible game for him. Four
Yeah.
interceptions. That's ridiculous. But yeah, McCaffrey is a good pick, but I would stay away from Cam Newton because they didn't report him on the injury report, but I'm hearing whisper about him being like having shoulder issues. Um,
Really?
yeah, so that's why he's not going as deep, which make it good for McCaffrey because he probably
Hmm.
go it shorter, like more screen passes. But yeah, they saying like that. A lot of people believe that's what was wrong with him last week.
Hmm.
So I mean, I keep a close eye on that to see what's going on.
Yeah, let's keep a close eye on that one. Playing him is dangerous.
Yeah, yeah, I would stay away from him because of that. That's probably another reason why he's not running as many touchdowns. Who know how long he's had that injury?
Mm,
When
mm.
they asked him about it this week, he was on some like, at this point of the season, everybody is hurt. So
Well, I
that's
know that Carolina really needs this win. They're 6-6. They're second in the NFC South, but they need it.
yeah,
Um,
I believe that too. That's why I was so big on them last week, but
right.
obviously
Right.
they didn't deliver. So
Also, the Browns defense has been doing so well last 5 games. They're ranked 30th in yards allowed per game. 30th. They allow 412 yards per game. They're ranked 29th in passing yards allowed per game. They're ranked 28th in rushing yards allowed per game. So all their defense is not doing so well as of lately. Carolina's defense isn't doing so well as of lately as well. The only defense that is doing well is, like I said, they're rushing. They're sixth in rushing yards allowed.
who's that?
So
The Panthers?
Panthers, yeah, they're sixth in rushing yards allowed.
Do
So they're
that
really good.
do that make you scared of Chubb this week?
Yes, that makes me scared of Chubb. Thing is, Chubb he gets catches things out of the backfield, so that doesn't really count as a rush. Um, it does. How much is Chubb, by the way, on DraftKings? Let's see that.
Chubb on DraftKings. Um, Hold on, before we talk about Chubb, like, how you feel about Baker Mayfield?
I'm big on him. I'm huge. I'm having him like 80% of my lineups. Huge. Because he's been down lately. He's due to have a huge game. Huge game. I like his I like the way he plays. He plays like Trubisky to me. He has heart. And the Carolina doesn't do so well against quarterbacks like him. So last week, 29 of 43 passes for 397 yards and one touchdown. Thing is, he threw three interceptions. But that's ridiculous. 397 yards?
For Baker,
Yeah, and you know who that was against? The Texans.
yeah, with a better defense. I mean, I heard JJ Watt talk about how the kid is resilient. So, I mean,
Yeah.
JJ
He'll
Watt,
run that thing in too. Anytime you have a quarterback that run that thing in, dangerous. Dangerous. And it's
uh,
at the Browns Stadium.
Nick
Dangerous.
Chubb will be 6,700.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
pricey for him.
It is. And I felt like that last week or the week before. And he kind of lived up to it.
Yeah. I mean, the over under for that game is 47.5. So, and
Is it?
yeah, and Panthers is a 1 point favorite, 1.5 point favorite.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm big on Baker Mayfield. Go get Baker Mayfield. Um, I'll play Baker Mayfield. I wouldn't play any of the receivers. I'll play Chubb.
Are you on like Callaway this week?
I I I, I like Callaway. I don't like him fantasy wise. He doesn't put up. There's better value out there. That's the only reason why.
Oh, okay. I mean, the Panthers cornerback's been so bad.
Yeah, yep. Like I said, their defense hasn't been doing well as far as passing.
Mhm.
Um, so, but it's like I don't know if it's the play calling for the Browns or the way Baker thinks, but I haven't seen any deep balls, air yards.
Yeah,
But Jarvis Landry, he makes some awesome plays, so he might be an okay play.
yeah. It's been
I
burning.
haven't seen.
Landry been burning a lot of people lately.
Yeah, I mean he had 100 yards last week, but no touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like it's been like that recently. Like let me look at Landry. Let me tell you, the longest ball he's had was 20 yards. I'm sorry, 39 yards is the longest ball he had. We need more air yards, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know if it's Baker or the play calling.
Combination of both, honestly.
Yeah. So Callaway, I used to be big. He hasn't proved anything yet either. But like you said, anything goes when it comes to the.
Yeah. Anything else for this game? Yeah, McCaffrey is big. Curtis Samuel might he start getting some more playing time. And
How you feel about your boy DJ Moore? I meant to ask you that.
I'm not big on him. Curtis Samuel will get more of the screen plays, like as far as
Mm-hmm.
receivers. So
Mm-hmm.
if him and really having shoulder issues, I'm scared of Panthers receivers. So I definitely go Curtis if I were to play people from this game, I'll probably go Curtis Samuels and McCaffrey. That's pretty much it for
What
me.
about the backup tight end for the Greg Olsen since he's out?
The fact that Cam Newton have like good chemistry with Greg Olsen and he wasn't getting much target,
Mm-hmm.
I'm staying away from the backup too. So
Uh, the backup is Ian Thomas, I believe.
mhm.
Yeah, Ian Thomas. Oh, the tight end for the don't sleep on him. I might stack him with Baker Joku,
Yeah,
David Joku. Yeah, Baker likes him.
yeah. I have a couple lineups with him, but
Yeah, he likes him. But he only had one touchdown throughout the whole year. No, he has two. He only had two touchdowns throughout the whole year. Jesus Christ! Oh no, he got three. Three touchdowns throughout the whole year.
I mean, that's not bad. You think about how far that offense came
Yeah.
2 years.
Last week, Joku only had 3 points, so I know he pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah.
So this week he might bounce back.
I mean that was one of the better games. I mean, beside the interception for his quarterbacks. That's kind of shocking that he only.
Right.
Anything else on that game?
Nothing. I'm big on Baker and Chubbs. Joku. Now you kind of got me get a little taste of Callaway because last week he had 75 yarder.
Mm-hmm.
One reception went 75 yards, and that's a big interesting thing for fantasy sports.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that the Panthers. I mean, I like the team, but the fact that the cornerback's been struggling all year. I mean, I feel like Callaway would be a good pick.
Yeah.
Next
Okay.
game, we have the Falcons playing the Packers. Falcons. I don't know which one is more disappointing. Falcons or Packers? Like
they both 4-8. Well, Green Bay's 4-7-1.
Yeah.
Atlanta's 4-8. They last time they played, Atlanta had 34, Green Bay had 23. Now, I think the Green Bay is just coming off of losing their coach, Mike McCarthy. The morale doesn't seem good.
Yeah, you know what? Like, that's what you would think, but I'll go the opposite of that. I feel like because like there was so many reports about how the players didn't want to play for the coach. I heard when he was calling the plays, people would look at each other like we shouldn't be running this play. So they wasn't even confident what he was calling. I feel like they actually would play more inspiring to prove to the world like he was the issue, especially with everything that's coming down. So I mean that's why I'm even scared to play Julio Jones this week because I feel like they have something to prove, especially like so much of Aaron Rodgers. I feel like that might be one of the better games. Falcons
they definitely got
so bad too. So
say that one more time.
The Falcons defense is so bad too. So
right. They've been banged up. I wonder if Deion Jones is playing their running back, their linebacker, but I don't know how. But offensively, Green Bay is 8th in yards per game. They're 6th in passing yards per game. Actually, I know how. Aaron Rodgers, duh.
Yeah.
But so is Atlanta. They're 5th in passing yards a game. So they both got good passing yards per game. So this would be the game to go to fantasy-wise, honestly. Both defenses are not too good. Well, let me go back on that.
Hold on. What would be the weather for this game? Because it's at Lambeau Field, you know. It's on that.
It's gonna be 27 degrees, light rain.
Light rain. So no snow. Okay.
No snow.
And
well, technically if it's 27 degrees, it's supposed to snow. But I don't know. Right now it's 27 degrees. Game time, I don't know if it's gonna be. It go up a little bit.
So answer the question about if you don't know about Deion Jones, he's not on the injury report. So
okay, so he's playing. Here's a surprising stat. Now, I thought Green Bay's defense was terrible. They're actually not that bad. They are 13th in yards per game allowed. They are 6th in passing yards allowed. I'm shocked. 6th.
Yeah.
Rushing yards allowed, they're 25th. So they're bad in rushing yards allowed. They're great in passing yards allowed. Atlanta is like terrible defensively. 27th rushing yards allowed, 28th points per game allowed, 26th in yards per game allowed. So Their defense is like you said, they're not doing too well lately.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers does pretty well against this defense.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones stacks. I feel like will be a good.
Woo, woo.
Yeah.
I wonder how much Aaron Jones is on DraftKings. Let me check that really quick. Aaron Jones is ooh. How much you think Aaron Jones is? Just off the
Uh,
top of your head.
I would guess 5,200.
Try 7,200.
What?
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, they what?
So they know that it's gonna be that yeah, 7,200.
But do you think it's worth it?
I honestly do.
Hmm.
I honestly do. Which is crazy. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's worth it.
it's the Falcons.
It's the Falcons. And if they get blown out, he's gonna be getting the rock a lot. Plus cold weather. Normally they run it a little bit more than usual.
And so we said last week.
We did. We
And
did
then
say
I don't know if you know that, like last week they actually split carries with the backup.
he did with
So,
Jay Williams.
yeah, so which is kind of like surprising. So, like we are hoping that that was just a one-time thing. It was based on the current coach, not the guy taking over right now. So,
You know what? That is true. We got to be careful with that because the way they've been playing, it's not going to be the same.
yep.
Especially with different coaches because he have different people he like. It's different.
Yep. And we don't know the him splitting the carries. We don't even know if that was in like the coach that's taking over now. It was in like him suggesting that. So that's probably what
Right.
he wanted to do the whole time. So we don't know. I'm staying away from him at 7,200.
Yeah.
I mean,
I might have him once.
yeah.
You're right.
And
That's
you
a
could
little
also
risk.
have a backup if they're gonna split carries 50-50.
Yeah. I'm definitely big on Matt Ryan. I mean, not Matt Ryan. Um, Aaron Rodgers. He only 6,000.
Oh yeah. I like Aaron Rodgers for this matchup.
Matt Ryan's like 5,800, so I'd rather pick Aaron Rodgers anyway. Julio, what's up with him, man? Randall Cobb is back. I'm always big on Randall Cobb, so I might stack Aaron Rodgers and Randall Cobb together.
Oh, Randall Cobb is back. Yes.
Yeah, cheap pick. Let me check Julio out real quick. He hasn't had a touchdown in last two games at all.
Yeah.
His longest ball is 58 yards. He disappointed a lot of people last week. Well, some people knew that he wasn't going to do well against Baltimore defense. He only had 3 fantasy points, so I don't think a lot of people is going to be on him like that. So I'm gonna pick him.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I think he'll do well. It's just like my whole theory of the Packers playing inspiring football this week.
yeah.
I don't think that's a
Oh, because of that coach.
yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting way of thinking of it. I didn't think of it like that. But don't sleep on them Falcons, though, boy.
Yeah. I
They
won't. They used to
still
play
got Matty Ice.
Matty Ice.
He ain't a bad quarterback. He just needs some help on defense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tyreek Cohen. I mean, not Cohen. Tevin Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have a little bit of him too.
Okay.
Yep, that's that for for that game for me.
Okay. So the next
Oh, Austin Hooper. I like Austin Hooper that game. Packers don't do well against tight ends. I forgot about him.
okay.
Jimmy Graham. I don't like Jimmy Graham, but I like Austin Hooper, fantasy wise.
That's shocking with Jimmy Graham. Like,
Man, tell me about it. I can't believe it. I
but
can't believe it.
yeah. Anything else for this game?
Nope.
All right. right, let's go to Saints at Bucks.
Saints at Bucks. That's division game.
That's crazy because it's so opposite for those two teams because Saints is like the better team, of course, but
Right.
they coming into this week playing the worst game
Exactly.
of the season, while Bucks probably had like one of the better games.
Exactly.
Defense had 4 picks. Offense looked like
Four.
they were picking. So
Four.
yeah.
Mm.
How you feel about this game?
Apparently, the Saints pass more than they rush. It was slightly more. Uh, Tampa Bay Bucks pass way more than they rush. The 63% of the time they pass.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this fantasy wise. I'm all over the Bucks. The Saints quarterbacks are. I like Marshawn Lattimore though. I think he's a safety, but the Saints cornerbacks aren't up to par. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, a lot of experts and fantasy guys like Chris Godwin, which is from Delaware. Woohoo! He's from Delaware. So they also like Humphreys and um I'm always on him. I'm always on him because I'm biased a little bit, just because he's from my state. Uh, so I'm going to have, and no Deshaun Jackson, right?
No, not D Jack. So
Yeah, so I'm going to be have some exposure to Humphreys and Godwin, but James Winston likes Mike Evans. He likes him as a target, and Mike Evans hasn't been performing so well lately. So I'm gonna stack a lot of Winston Evans.
okay.
How you feel about that?
I think that's a good. I think that's a good pick. I mean, I like I like Godwin with Winston, um, but it's actually interesting that the Saints actually getting more balance on the running side of the game since Mark Ingram been back. So
Hmm.
even though they still passing the ball at a high rate, but actually they reduced it since Ingram
They
came.
did. They did.
So
It's almost 50-50.
be on the lookout for that. I probably stay away from the receiver, but yeah,
Michael Thomas.
yeah.
That's interesting. A lot of people gonna be on him because of the Bucks.
Secondary, yeah.
Yeah,
That's like that's the two things I was thinking about. It's like because he's gonna be highly owned, and
he
I
is.
like believe like they will run the ball and pass it a lot out the backfield. I mean,
Yeah,
and the Bucks, yeah, like I didn't think they were smart enough to actually stop the number one receiver from other teams, but they look like they've been doing a pretty good job the last
they
couple.
turned it around. They made a coaching change. I don't know if it was the coordinator or the defense. I think it was. And they're starting to turn around. The last 5 games, they've been doing better than
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
So I do
definitely.
think, yeah. And the Saints have been doing a little bit worse than before. So I don't. It's the division game. I think it's tight. Um,
They 9.5 point favorite for the Saints.
wow, they're not covering that.
And
Really
and then you could also look at like the Saints coming from the worst game of the season. They might be looking to
to
revenge
get
that
prove
Cowboys
something,
loss on them. So it's
right?
gonna be an interesting game.
It's going to be a good game. It's definitely going to be a good game. What about the tight ends for them two teams?
I mean, I'm
Some
staying away from the Saints tight end. I mean, Saints I mean, yeah, I'm staying away from the tight end. They have
yeah,
a lot of weapons.
they do. They have too many weapons. You don't know who's going to do well. But Cameron Brate seems like a cheap tight end for Tampa Bay. But the thing is, Saints do well against tight ends for some reason.
Yeah.
Defensively, they do really well against tight ends. So yeah, that's my take on that game. Of course, I'm gonna have Drew Brees though. Exposed Drew Brees, and I like Traquan Smith. They ain't do nothing last week, so I don't think he's gonna be highly owned. Um, but I like Traquan.
Okay.
Stack.
Okay. I pick. I probably get on Tre'Quan Smith too, because I wasn't
Yeah,
even thinking about him. I feel like he
yeah,
be a sleeper.
yeah. He would be. Is Brandon Marshall playing yet?
They didn't make any announcement. They didn't say he was active or anything. So
They really might be saving him for the playoffs, like you
yeah,
said.
yeah. I believe that some veterans and you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything else for this game?
Nope, not for me.
So I have Pats and Dolphins.
Pats and Dolphins. That's a division game.
Yes.
Um, only person I like is Kenyon Drake from the Dolphins, and I like uh Tannehill's playing right. I
Yes.
like so he likes. I feel like he likes Danny a little bit, but I'm not picking Danny. He don't go deep enough for me. Yeah, just Kenyon Drake, and for the Pats, I like Gronkowski. For some reason, I like Chris Hogan. We don't know who the Pats are going to throw it to, so I'm
Yeah.
just going to pick Tom Brady and Gronkowski.
Yeah.
Can't go
Oh,
wrong with it.
okay. I mean, me, I stay away from Tom Brady. He haven't been putting up great fantasy numbers this whole year. Um, and as far as like the Dolphins, like I do like Drake, Kenyon Drake, and
Mhm.
also unlike you, I do like Amendola just because I remember on the off season he was talking trash to the Patriots, so I feel like
Oh,
he has something to prove because they didn't resign him. So I feel like he's probably gonna come in with a chip on his shoulder. Probably gonna want the ball more. And then Stephen Gilmore been playing really well for them. He's questionable, so I feel like I like Amendola because of all that.
that makes sense. I mean, playing his old team, I know you're big on those statistics. Usually it works out. Uh, Also, the Pats, they I, a lot of people. I was talking to a Patriots fan yesterday. We both were, weren't we?
Uh huh.
Uh, and I just feel like they haven't been playing well.
Yeah.
But Tom Brady has been playing well. I
Yeah.
mean,
I tell you a quick stats though. Like based on yeah, we going with the whole Patriot. They always do well. I mean now,
mm,
I mean they are getting more healthier than they were in the beginning of the seasons. But remember
right,
what they did at the Lions, at the Jaguars, at the Titans. Those are not great teams, and they got blown out by all three of those teams when they were on
yeah,
the. And they always struggle in Miami. So
always, always.
I'm not big on any of the Patriots players because of all the statistics working against them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I like Kenny Stills. But anyway, Miami is 30th in rushing yards allowed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an important stat. They're 29th in yards per game allowed.
Mm-hmm.
So Sony Michelle is their number one running back. I like James White because he knows how to get the ball in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
But Sony Michelle might be a better play because he's the number one guy.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they got Burkhead back. He's third down back. He gets some touches. They got Josh Gordon, Julian Edelman. They got a lot of weapons, man. A lot
Yeah,
of weapons.
and like you're saying, like if I would play Patriots players, I probably would play the running back because I don't know if you remember a few years ago when they played the Dolphins,
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady only threw the ball 5 times at halftime.
Mm,
So just because you're saying like the Dolphins rushing game is like 30th, I feel like Bill Belichick could easily go into this game and be like, we're not gonna throw the ball as much. I mean, his reason for that was because the line was so hurt. He didn't want to get Tom Brady hurt. He only threw the ball about 5 times at halftime. So
mm.
just think about that. That's crazy. But yeah.
That is crazy. But by the way, these two teams have met before.
Mhm.
So,
2 times a year.
um, yeah, they met before. The last time they met, they Patriots blew them out. Actually, blew them out.
Yeah, but I think they played
Uh,
different home versus on the road. That's actually Brady, as good as he is, that's actually one of the places he struggle with in Miami.
mm,
Like he have a losing record in Miami. He have
mm.
like touchdown to interception is also bad. But yeah, go ahead with the stats.
Yeah, I think we're gonna disagree on this one.
Hey,
But
hey,
that's okay. Hey, that's okay.
all
I
right.
like uh I like Tom Brady all the way. They beat Miami 38-7.
How much you want to put on that one, man?
Man, what you want to put on that one, man?
All right, we could do that at the end.
We'll do that at the end. But yeah, I'm having Tom Brady all over the place. I might even stack two Patriots players with him. Sony Michelle and James White both together. Something crazy like that. Yeah, man. Moving on.
Next, I mean, do you want to talk about the Rams in the Chicago matchup now?
Yes.
All right, so Rams Chicago. I mean, that's a
Rams, Chicago. I'm mad. My boy Mitchell Trubisky is not back.
no. He's back.
Man, he's back.
Yeah, he
I just
practiced.
seen an update. Oh, that was yesterday.
Yeah,
They didn't know. He's back?
yeah, he practiced. He practiced and everything.
Good. Well, I'm gonna have him too. He do revenge game. He been sitting out too long. Competitive people, man. He's highly competitive. Um, LA is like top five in everything offensively. Actually, top three.
Mhm.
Rams. Chiefs. I mean, not the Chiefs. The what's the name? Not the Chiefs. Dang on. Bears are top five in everything defensively. And you know my philosophy: the defense is going to win this game.
Mm.
They're going to win. They're going to win this game. The Bears are going to win this game. The Bears are 8-4 in first in the NFC North. It's going to be really cold. It's going to be 25 degrees. They're playing at Chicago at Soldier Field. Last time they played, Chicago won 37-13, but that was 2 years ago. Anyway, Jared Goff is an awesome quarterback though. But anyway, Trubisky's back. I'm putting Trubisky, and I'm getting my boy Allen Robertson.
Oh,
So stacking them too.
okay. Yeah, it's a lot of good matchup. A lot of people. It looked like Marcus Peters will also be you know healthy this week. So
Mhm.
all right. I mean, I don't think the Rams defense is as bad as people think because of how I feel like so many new faces. I feel like they had to figure it out, and I feel like
Right.
at this time now where things probably clicking for them. But I mean, Trubisky coming back, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be good for Chicago, especially what Chase Daniel did last week against the
For
Giants.
real. For real. I mean, the Rams defense isn't that bad.
Mm-mm.
18th through 16th in all defensive stats.
Mhm.
So average at best. And uh how much did Trubisky cost? Let's see. I think he's cheap.
I mean, they have to be, especially like coming from that injury. Nobody know how well he would do. Um, but
Um,
I do like. I mean, the
oh,
Rams
that's
have
a
it
good
all,
game. That's
man.
a good game, I wonder.
You hear me? The Rams have it all.
They have it all, man. Their defensive line is nasty. They got
Yeah,
Aaron Donald
they
balling,
have
man.
the they have the running backs for like cold games. They have receivers. They have decent offensive line. They have
Mm,
decent corner. Like they have it
mm.
all.
They have it all, man. They
So
have it all. But I'm putting my money on the Bears.
yeah,
I'm putting my money on the Bears.
Trubisky is 5,600.
Oh, okay. That's good money.
Yeah,
I
that
think
I mean
that
that's a pick. I mean, especially even however you put this matchup, if the Rams is winning big, they will need Trubisky. If
they would
it's
need to
a
this.
close match, probably use his leg and things to actually.
We're gonna use his leg. But the thing I'm worried about is that dude, Aaron Donald, man. 16 sacks on the year. Actually, I think it's more than that now.
Yeah, he's doing well.
That dude, Aaron Donald, is nasty, man. The way he just get through them lines, man. I can't believe him. Uh, the Rams played Detroit last week and they beat them 30-16. Yeah. What about Todd Gurley? I've always had Todd Gurley, but man, it's too many weapons, man. Like you said. But
I mean, I like Todd Gurley, especially like I told you when he was playing the Giants. Like the number one um, weakness for the Chicago defense is actually running backs that catch the ball. So Todd Gurley do catch the ball too. I mean, you could use Todd Gurley multiple ways.
yeah, Todd Gurley is the man. I mean, he he's he's just a horse, man. But then again, the Rams are 11-1. Do they have to really run him like that? You know what I'm saying? Um, who knows how the coaching is going to go? I don't know if they're going to kind of rest a little bit, but
I mean, they can't rest because they fighting for the number one seed.
they want the number one seed. Okay,
Yeah, I mean, they're not in the resting mood right now.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they are on top, and if the Rams lose this game, especially like with Chicago being like so close, I mean, it'll take a miracle for the Rams to give Chicago the spot. But if they
hmm
lose to Chicago, Chicago will have the tiebreaker. So it mean a lot to them in all type of ways for them to win. So
What's the spread?
the spread for the Rams game, I know Rams is like 3.5 point favorite, even though
Yeah,
they're road. Um, what you want the over under for that game too?
yeah.
Over under is 51.5.
Ooh,
In Chicago too. What's the weather like?
it's 25 degrees there. It's cold.
It's snowing.
Nah, it ain't gonna snow.
Okay. Anything else for that game? I mean, I like Todd Gurley.
I mean, we can't go talking about the Bears without talking about Khalil Mack. I mean, he's an elite linebacker. We cannot forget that. He's like elite linebacker. So just be aware of that. I mean, you got Anthony Miller and Tyler Gabriel. I'm not big on none of them. Allen Robinson, I'm big on. Trey Burton, I might have a little exposure to. Also going to have a couple. I'm going to have Brandon Cooks. I like Brandon Cooks fantasy wise. So I might have a stack with Goff and Cooks.
Yeah.
If this
One
go ahead.
note take from that game too, from the game last week. You see how Giants actually beat Chicago. I mean, they needed two turnover from Chase Daniels, but they also like run a lot of trick plays. I mean, beside the Chiefs, nobody else run more confusing plays than the Rams. So, yeah, I like you. I like your boy too with that.
That's true.
So I think he probably sees some running back type of carries from as a receiver.
Yeah. Uh, the Rams rushing defense hasn't been doing so well as of the last 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
So watch out for Tyreek Cohen. He's gonna be hot because he had a hot ass fantasy run last week. So he put up numbers, man. So if this game goes down to the wire, the Chicago Bears win, man. They're gonna stop him fourth quarter, last second.
Okay, so you
Moving on.
you believe in the
Oh,
defense more than the offense?
way
More
more. Way more. Way more. Especially Rams is from LA and they coming up to a cold weather climate.
that's why they have
So,
Ty Gurley.
yeah. Man, you got the best running back versus the best linebacker. Who you taking?
I don't
That's a tough one. That's a tough one, though. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. That's why it's a good matchup. That's tough.
But it all depends though who's surrounding both of them.
Mm-hmm. It does. That is actually going to be a great game to watch. Sunday night, 8 o'clock.
I agree. Now, I mean, anything else for this game?
Nothing I know of.
We had the Seahawks against the Vikings.
Seahawks has been doing absolutely nothing for me fantasy wise. I mean, nothing. I mean, Russell Wilson, maybe some
Russell
weeks.
Wilson didn't work last week.
Yeah, Russell Wilson, because he rushes as well. But the wide receivers, I mean, what's that wide receiver's name? Starts with a T. Russell Wilson for the Seahawks. What's his name?
I don't.
Oh man, not Wilson. T something. T Gabriel, no. T Cohen, no. Dang, what's his name? I pick him all the time too. I can't think of his name. You know what I'm talking about. Huh?
Tyler Lockett?
Yeah, Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett. I like Tyler Lockett. He's fast. So if anybody, I will only pick Russell Wilson and a little sprinkle of Tyler Lockett.
That's it. Doug Baldwin is questionable for that game.
Is he really?
Questionable. I feel like he will play because they need this game. Winning.
They do. Who you like there?
I like Kurt. Kurt is good when the pressure is off of him.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I like Kurt. I like Russell Wilson. I feel like those quarterbacks. I mean, especially Russell Wilson, like at home, I feel like he would do well. It's not that expensive. If you having a stack lineup with like superstars, I feel like Russell Wilson is a good way to combat that.
Russell Wilson at home?
Yeah, they're at home in Seattle. I'm not sure of the weather. They do have Seahawks at 3.5 point favorite, but yeah. I mean,
that Monday?
Huh?
That Monday night?
Is that game Monday night?
I don't even see it on the Sunday list.
I'll tell you when is it. Yep, it is Monday night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I guess we're not gonna spend much more time on that.
Yeah.
Monday night game.
Next.
You want to talk about your Eagles?
We got one more to talk about before the Eagles.
All right. What you got?
The Texans, my computer is frozen, so I don't know who they're playing.
Colts at Texans.
Colts at Texans. That's going to be a good matchup. Yes. Colts at Texans. I like, you said Kiki is questionable. I like the Colts players. As of lately, last 3 games, Texans passing defense hasn't been doing so well.
I really like T.Y. Hilton this game.
Yes. T.Y. Luck stack.
Yeah.
I also like Ebron. I am not getting away from him. He goes too much to him in the daggone red zone, man.
Yeah.
It's like Luck can't help it, man. It's like he go to him every time, man.
Automatic switch.
Yeah. So I like Marlins Mack as well. He's been due to have a big game as well. Also, Demaryius Thomas is a cheap pick for a wide receiver for the Texans. And Deshaun Watson is always a good pick.
Yeah, I really like Hopkins this week. I mean, I'm not every day I'm on Hopkins, but it's definitely a week that I'm big on Hopkins.
Yeah. Ain't this a division game, by the way?
Yes. Last week was also a division game.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be a good matchup. That's a good, fantasy-wise, that's going to be a good matchup to pick up. So, I like it.
The running back from the Texans.
Texans. I was thinking about picking him up, but he's not consistent.
Okay.
He's not consistent. He had a big game last week, I believe.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm not picking him at all due to Deshaun Watson rushing. Ever since he got hurt, he hasn't been rushing as much as I expect. But Watson, Hopkins stack is a good pick. Watson, uh, Thomas stack, and Watson also likes that tight end, Jay Thomas. He likes that guy.
Mhm.
So I think that all three of those people are good picks. But I don't
Yeah.
have no faith in Lamar Miller whatsoever.
Um, good. Over under is 49.5 for this game.
Really?
Mhm.
The weather's gonna be okay, 51 degrees
Yeah, I mean
at
it's
Houston.
yeah, it's in Houston.
Last time they last time they played, it was a highly that game's gonna go over, by the way. Um 37-34. September 30th, 2018. Houston won 37-34. So um Indiana's top 10 in offense in every category except for rushing. Houston is second in rushing yards. That's coming from Deshaun Watson, I believe. Um,
Unlike Lamar Miller.
nah. All right, Lamar, I give you some credit. I give you some credit. He had a big run last week. Um, but Lamar only has 3 touchdowns for the whole year.
Mhm.
Eric Ebron has 11 touchdowns for the whole year. DeAndre Hopkins has 8 touchdowns for the whole year. So Lamar, he has 876 yards. He could get 1,000. He could get 1,000 if he keeps playing. So yeah, man.
In this day and age, 1,000 yards for a running back is actually pretty good, especially with like everybody passing the ball so much.
Also runs. Yeah, yeah. I think defense, Houston is actually pretty. We already know they're already good in defense. So, like I said, Houston wins this game. Um, but Andrew Luck is going to be throwing it all over the place.
Yeah.
You got more to win for. It's 6-6. Houston's 9-3. It's a division game.
Yeah, I mean it was shocking last week that Colts only scored 0 points.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's another thing. Colts going to be having a revenge game too.
Division
So,
game always gonna be tight. Um,
always.
the spread, what was this up? Spread is 3.5 Texans.
Yeah, I take. Oh, Colts cover the spread.
Yeah, I think it'll be
Next game.
the last one, I believe, right?
Last one. Last
Last
one.
game.
We got America's team, the Cowboys, versus
Super Bowl champ.
the champs.
Can't say my name with that Super Bowl champ.
Can't say my name. What? Fly high. The Eagles versus the Cowboys at 4:25 p.m. So, fantasy wise, I like Ezekiel Elliott. I'm not going to sleep on him. I'm not going to be emotional and not pick him. Uh, Eagles known for letting the star player shine.
You know?
So Ezekiel Elliott, and you got to be careful with Amari Cooper, but I'm not going to play Amari Cooper. I'll rather play Gallup. Gallup is getting a lot of targets. He's a rookie. He want to work hard for a good, contract and stuff like that. So, um, hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
I was just listening to you.
no, my screen just went away out of
Oh,
nowhere.
no, you still,
So yeah, well, I forgot what I was saying.
but you was talking about you're gonna play the rookie wide receiver.
Yes, I'm gonna play Gallup. I'm big on him. Gallup and Zeke. A lot. Depending on how much Dak costs, I'm not gonna play Dak. Depending on how much he costs. How much does he cost? Let's see.
So,
Who you got?
I feel like you always have to watch for Vegas, right? Just like
Yeah.
last week when the Cowboys was only 7 point like underdog to the Saints, everybody was shocked because it's like I mean Saints been blowing everybody out, so Vegas know what they doing when they set
Right.
this. You tell me that as much as people believe like Cowboys is the way better team, but
Uh-huh.
Vegas the game only come out at 3.5 point favorite, and you
Mm.
get 3 points for
Yeah.
being at home. So
Right.
they think those teams is just is pretty close to each other.
Right.
And the records say it all: 7-5 and 6-6.
Yep.
I'm big on Zeke. I mean, it's hard to stop Zeke. And the Eagles' defense haven't been able to stop anybody. If you let Adrian Peterson at this age whip one for 90 yards, I can only imagine what Zeke will be doing to the Eagles. But
Mm.
I'm also big on Zach Ertz on the other side. I mean,
Mm.
he killed them last week. Last time they played, uh,
Right.
and I think it's gonna be interesting. Especially, I I'm not big on Dak, so I'm staying away from the receivers. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he is. I mean, you think about it, one of the best game. I mean, they only scored 13 points. So,
Can you believe that?
yeah, and Zeke had like a monster game, and you
Yeah.
only scored 13 points. That's telling me your quarterback is not that good. So, I'm staying away
Mhm.
from the that quarterback and receiver stack, but you can't ignore Zeke. As much as like as bad as the Eagles cornerbacks are, I feel like
Yeah.
yeah, I like
He goes around. Quarterbacks miss a tackle. He
yeah.
breaks away 25 yards, touchdown. Defensively, Dallas is top 5 in everything.
Hmm. But you know who they struggle with, right?
What?
Like the receiver they struggle with when he was playing for the Lions,
Galladay?
huh? What receiver the
Take.
Eagles have? Yep,
Oh, that's
take
gonna be an
killed
interesting.
take killed them last time when they were playing against the Lions. As good as the defense is.
Oh, that's a good observation.
So be on the lookout for Tate. And I also see like a sleeper, as we were discussing yesterday. A
Mhm.
sleeper is Sproles. Sproles came back.
Mhm.
No one is talking about Sproles neither.
No one. No one.
And
Nobody.
just that
Got it.
moment. And I feel like Sproles will be a good pick this week.
He
He
do
probably
for a punt return
punt
too.
return. He touched the ball in so many occasions. I feel like he's due.
Yeah.
And they will put
Um,
certain matchup. I mean, he still has some speed. He
he
scored last.
does. He scored. He was not supposed to score that touchdown. There was 3 people on him. He still
Yeah,
got in. That's the
exactly.
type of players you need to win championships, honestly.
Yeah.
You can't be going down. Oh, here's a stat. Josh Adams averages more yards per carry than Ezekiel Elliott.
Interesting.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, offensively, Cowboys are bad,
Hmm.
except for rushing yards. That's the only thing. 27th in passing yards, 24th in points per game, 24th in yards per game. This is all offensively.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Your best game, you
I'm
scored 30
big.
points against the Saints. The Saints defense is not that good.
Yeah, that's what's crazy about it. And they got Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
So it's like, how you wasn't throwing the ball?
Yeah. I mean, like I like we said, like do you like Josh Adams this game? Or no?
Yes, I like Josh Adams.
I like
They
Hurts.
hyping up that linebacker though. Who knows? Cowboys got a good O line as well.
Yeah.
But Eagles supposed to have a good D line. I don't know where they at.
That
Where they been at though.
yeah. You haven't been that way this whole year.
Yeah, I don't know where they been.
Yeah, so
So
overall, I like for Eagles, I like the quarterback. Um, I'm staying away from Josh Adams because I think with Sproles coming back, he's gonna take away some of his
true,
carries. Some they're gonna
true.
be throwing the balls. And Zach Ertz. I mean, I don't know. Like Cowboys really good against tight end, but not with Zach Ertz. Somehow he get the ball, so definitely picking. And then Golden Tate, I like him because of what he did against the Cowboys before. And then the
Mhm.
first meeting, that was his first game. So
My super sleeper is Corey Clement. Um, Whenever this guy is the third backup, he does well.
hmm.
He does really well. Hence, last year when Blunt and Ajayi was taking over, nobody expected Clement to do anything. Last game, he played really well from the touches he got. So he's just a sleeper for me. Um, he has a high ceiling. He's the ability to score 3 touchdowns. Carson Wentz has a connection with him. Everybody's going to be focused on Zach Ertz. We can't forget about Alshon Jeffries neither. But Alshon Jeffries hasn't been doing anything for the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah,
We've been playing really good defenses. Like last week, we had the Redskins with Josh Norman. Um, but I don't know if Jeffrey goes. I think you're right about Tate. It's tough for a defense to cover this Philly team, though. Like you said, they got Tate on one side, they got Jeffries on another side. You got to worry about Sproles now. So, and you got to worry about Ertz. That's what's tough. So, yeah, I think, yeah, I'm big on Clements, Ertz. I'm not picking Carson Wentz. Fantasy wise, he's been hurting me.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
he's been hurting me.
On the Cowboys side, Zeke.
Yeah, Zeke.
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 He
All the
can't.
way. The Bull, what's that Bull name? Had 36 points that one time. Not Riley Cooper. I don't know why I'm thinking him. Uh, Cole Beasley.
Oh, okay.
Cole Beasley. He could be a sleeper too.
Yeah.
He could be a sleeper too.
It's just I don't trust his quarterback.
Nope.
That's why I can't really pick the receivers. You know me with
You're right.
reliable. I'm not.
He don't pass the ball enough, man.
Yeah. All right. I think this is the last game. Anything else for this game?
That's it.
You
That's
want to do
it.
the Vegas odds?
Let's do the Vegas odds really quick.
You know I'm like killing you on those picks, right?
Man, you're doing very well, man. You're doing very well, but you ain't gonna do well this week. Let's see how you do this week.
Oh man, I'm the king of picks.
All right, so how you want to do it?
Um, do you have the I mean we
Let's
have
just focus on the ones that we disagree on.
okay.
All right, I have the picks. I'm going based off of the parlay card.
Okay.
All right, so we got. Hold on. Well, what's the early bird? Hold on, just a second. All right, here it is. We got the Chiefs minus 6.5 at home versus the Ravens.
Yeah. What you got for that game?
Ravens.
Oh, you think Ravens gonna cover?
Yeah, I actually think they're gonna win the game. They defense is number one
Yeah. I'm definitely picking the Chiefs.
to cover.
Yeah, they definitely cover.
Oh, you
Like
wild.
it's interesting how you didn't believe in Lamar Jackson against the Falcons, but all of a sudden you believe on him against the best, one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah. Whenever the best offense plays the best defense, defense always wins.
Yeah. Why didn't you
Um,
feel the same way about Matt Ryan last week?
because they wasn't the best offense. I don't know why. Something with the best offense, not the average offense. Is gonna be the best. Because I think the expectations are really high or low. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
I actually think they cover easily. So because they're home, I would have give the Ravens a better shot if Ravens was on the road. I mean,
What
at home.
about the whole Kareem Hunt thing? You don't think that messed up the locker room a little bit?
I think so. I just don't think Ravens have enough firepower to combat that. So I mean,
Mm.
that team is really good, man.
All they, Ravens had 2 defensive touchdowns like last week, or was it the week before last?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. The Chiefs is 10-2. They lost to the Patriots
Mhm,
and to the what Rams. Yeah,
mhm.
two.
But I don't know what it is with Andy Reid, but when he picks quarterbacks that choke in the last fourth quarter. This cat, he made me hot, man. They could have beat the Rams. He threw an interception in the last 20 seconds. Man, I'm done with him, man. Anyway,
See, you going based on that. But look
yeah,
at the numbers. Even when, I don't even think it will be this close.
they'll be that close.
I mean,
Um,
it'll be over by halftime.
well, we can make a bet on that.
Okay.
Um, Texans, Colts, Texans at home, -4.5.
That's a tough one. Who you got?
That is a tough one. That is a tough one.
I, I think Colts cover. I think they keep it close.
Yeah, I think
Texans.
Colts cover coming off of a big loss like that.
I
Colts cover.
I need Texans to win.
You pick Texans to win.
I need them to win. Yeah,
Uh,
but
Colts cover. So we agree.
yeah.
Panthers -1.5. Browns at home +1.5.
Panthers cover.
Yeah, I believe so too. Even though I'm big on Baker Mayfield, I just think he's going to have a lot of yards but lose the game. Panthers got a lot to fight for anyway. Packers at home -5.5. Falcons +5.5. At home don't mean shit for Packers.
No, I think they're gonna play inspired, so I think they cover easily.
Okay, I disagree. I think Falcons cover that one. I'm done with the
We won't
Packers.
about the Falcons before, so I'm not surprised.
Falcons cover that, man.
Yeah. Did
Julio
they
has
cover
a good.
for you last week?
Listen, Falcons cover this week. Packers. Why you going to? How the Packers going to be a favorite after they lost to the Arizona Cardinals? Come on, man. That's
Vegas,
just a sucker bet. Falcons got that.
no, Vegas. So that Vegas is actually trying to get people to pick the Falcons
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. But it's 5.5. It
because he
ain't
like,
gonna be that
oh,
bad.
Packers just lost last week. There's no way Falcons can cover 5.5. But Vegas, oh, they know something. There's a reason they make it 5.5.
They got Julio Jones, man. It's like I don't understand. They had average person, but it's Julio, man. Um,
You're gonna lose
Saints
on this
-8.5.
too.
Well, go ahead.
I say you're gonna lose on this one too. But you've been wrong
Okay,
before, so
okay. So you got okay. So Chief Ravens, I got Ravens. You got Chiefs. Packers Falcons. You got Packers. I got Falcons. We'll see.
uh-huh.
Saints -8.5 versus the Bucks, who are at home +8.5.
I like
That's a division game. I like the Bucks.
yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have to pick the Saints.
Okay.
I think they I mean
Uh,
they need to win. I mean it's so close between them and the Rams. Like they need to win. I feel like they put this game away early too.
yeah. Damn, over under is 56.5. Jesus.
Yeah. 50 of that will be by the Saints.
Nah. So we disagree there. Bucks are at home, brother.
Yeah,
Bucks are at home. Saints don't have good quarterbacks.
it's
They don't
changed.
got good quarterbacks.
He go back to his normal self. Cam
Yeah,
Newton
he at home, man.
have 4 interception last week, and
He in Florida, man. This is
7.
home.
Oh, Drew Brees, that. Oh man,
Oh, Saints don't travel well.
in Florida.
Saints don't travel well.
So Saints win.
All right, Bucks win.
You think they're gonna win, or you think they're
I'm
gonna?
sorry, Bucks cover. They don't win. Bucks cover. They don't win. They got 8.5, man. They're giving them
Yeah,
more than
I
a
thought about it.
touchdown.
I was leaning on the Bucks, but I'm like definitely Saints.
All right. Bills are at home -3.5 versus the Jets.
Oh my gosh, Jets cover.
Yeah, Jets cover. I agree.
Division game, whatever.
Division game,
Oh,
Jets cover. I like the Bills quarterback though, but Jets cover.
Patriots Dolphins.
Patriots, Dolphins. Patriots.
You think they will cover? Oh, we disagree on that. I remember.
Oh, they blew them out last game.
Patriots was at home. Go look at Patriots. Go look at Patriots away games. All of them. Like versus the Lions, they got blown out. versus the Titans. They got blown out.
You want to put money on it, dog? I'm telling you, Patriots they only got to beat them out. You know how much weapons they got? Sony Michel, Gronkowski, Josh Gordon, Julian Edelman. Come on, you think they ain't gonna cover that?
Yo, one of Patriots' best teams struggle against the Dolphins. Brady don't play well in December against the Dolphins. They have a losing record against the Dolphins. It's like one of the few teams in the NFL you have a losing record against.
I believe that, but I
That's
feel like
the
it's
case.
turned around. I do remember that. I remember they do play well. I mean,
So,
bad a
quick
division
question
game.
for you: Which Patriots team you like best? 2007 Patriots team or this year Patriots team?
07.
Oh, okay. That team struggled against the Dolphins. So I
Oh, this is a
disagree on
different
that. I'm
Dolphins team,
picking
dog.
Dolphins to cover. They probably lose by a field goal, maybe a touchdown. But I wouldn't be surprised if Dolphins win that game. Honestly.
What? Oh, Gronkowski, Julian Edelman,
Mm-hmm.
Josh Gordon. There's too many weapons. Way too many. Even the rushing game. Even when the Patriots bullshit around and rush the ball, Sony Michel and James White going to get it in the end zone. We know that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins are terrible this year. Terrible.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they average. They're not terrible. They 6-6, so that's pretty average. And
Oh,
Patriots
okay.
only games above average, so they're not great neither.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I guess you're right. They're not that bad, but I like the Patriots
how many
way over.
touchdowns Brady threw last week? One. How many he threw the week
One.
before? Two. I mean, like Brady haven't been playing that well. He's like right. He's playing just like like an average quarterback.
You
So
just have too many weapons, man. You have too many weapons. He had
you
those
have
good
many
running.
weapons like that, you actually score. You actually throw the ball and score. You haven't been scoring.
You
I
have
didn't have
really
so
good
many
running backs,
weapons.
man.
What you say?
You got three really great running backs that can start on any team.
How did they do last week?
And I think I don't know how they did last week.
Yeah, they beat the Vikings, but you know,
Yeah, that's a good team to beat.
yeah, but it wasn't like a smooth sell. I mean, it takes some work.
Yeah, never takes. Anyway, moving on. So we'll figure out about that one. Rams, Bears, Rams 3.5 point favorites. Bears are at home. I like Bears.
Rams are
They win
three
the
and a
game.
half.
Yeah,
I like the Bears to cover too.
yeah.
Rams win.
Bears cover. I think Bears win, but Bears cover.
Yeah, I think Bears cover. Win.
Giants favorite -3.5. Redskins at home. Mark Sanchez. He's out of
That's all you had to say.
there. I'm taking the Giants, but they don't have Odell Beckham, so I don't know.
So Giants is 3.5 point favorite.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Redskins. Much, yeah, as much as I don't like Mark Sanchez, but the Redskins is the better team. I mean,
They
and
are. They are.
Eli
They
is
really
not
are.
better than Mark Sanchez. Besides,
They are.
well,
They are the better team, but they got Saquon Barkley over there, so I don't know how he's gonna perform.
they
I don't
have
even know if they're gonna give him the ball enough.
Adrian Peterson is. You look up to Adrian Peterson, so.
He did. He did.
So,
Last time the Redskins won, didn't they? They did.
yeah.
You're right. I agree. Redskins cover. I changed that.
Especially, I think like I don't think the Odell Beckham injury is that bad. I just think they like it's a lost season, so
Yeah.
they're telling me they're not really trying to win like that.
Nah, they not.
Yeah.
Who
But
else?
he was to convince you. I wish I could convince you that easy on the Patriots.
Nah, I didn't know, sir. The Patriots gonna blow them out. They already blew them out earlier. Anyway, Broncos, 49ers. Broncos are -5.5. 49ers are at home.
Broncos cover.
49ers at home. I don't know, man. That's a pick 'em for me. I don't know.
Broncos cover. I mean, Broncos beat Chargers.
Yeah, it's just got win by a touchdown. They might cover.
they, 49ers, but they key players is out too. The running back.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. Chargers Bengals. Chargers minus 14.5 at home. I think they might cover that joint.
Yeah, yeah. I'm big on I always pick the Chargers.
Yeah, they might cover that at home too.
Yeah,
Shit.
Bengals.
Bengals haven't been playing well at all.
Chargers cover.
Yeah. Lions minus 2.5 at Cardinals. That's a
You
terrible game.
too
Stay
hard on
away.
the
Stay away.
if I would pick one, I pick the home team. I pick Cardinals. Cardinals had a very impressive win last week. And
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford would do his normal stuff, like stack up the stat sheet and
And they
lose.
still have an okay passing defense.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I had to pick, I might pick Cardinals too.
Yeah.
And Lions don't have their running backs. They still got Blind. I don't know. Cowboys, Eagles. Cowboys at home minus 3.5.
I already know what we're both gonna pick for this game.
I'm picking Eagles.
I know.
Can't help.
Yeah. You already know. Eagles 3.5. I feel like even if they lose, they should be able to cover. I mean, I know they
Right.
beat them by like 7, but
Yeah.
I think they cover.
I think Eagles win 23-20. Steelers, Raiders. Steelers 10.5 at Raiders.
Raiders put up a fight last week against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't have no faith in the Steelers covering no spread. Raiders cover the spread. Steelers win.
Just to play safe, I pick Raiders to cover. I don't have any faith in Big Ben.
Yeah, especially with that running back out too.
Yeah.
Big Ben throw 40.
Too much.
Seahawks, Vikings. Seahawks minus 3.5 at Seahawks home. That's a good matchup too. Monday night.
Vikings.
Yeah, I like the Vikings too. I like the Adam Thielen guy and Stephon Diggs balling. I don't know about Russell Wilson.
I don't know how to keep doing it.
Vikings defense is still pretty decent too.
Yeah.
Decent defensive. Well, that concludes our Vegas odds and our sportscast for Quace Sports. You have anything else to add, sir?
No, nothing really. I mean, just like my big pick for this week. I'm really big on Travis Kelce. This week, I think he would do. I mean, I think it's shocking to put Travis Kelce in the realm of like surprise picks, but because everybody think the Ravens defense is really good, but they not as good against tight ends. So I'm big on Travis Kelce, and that's about it.
I think he's going to be highly owned.
Really? Against the Ravens defense?
No, because of last week. He almost had 3 touchdowns. I have him on my fantasy. He did really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just because he did really well last week. But it's still a good pick. Especially against the defense. Nobody's going to have him. I guess it balanced out because it's the Ravens defense. My biggest pick is Baker Mayfield. So we all over him.
Yeah. Any questions? Did we get any questions?
I don't see any questions here in the chat.
Okay.
Are there any questions out there before we get offline? Are there any questions? Fantasy, sports, life? I don't see any questions.
I have a question for you though. Like, are you playing the 49ers backup running back?
No.
So you're not big on that?
Alfred Morris?
Yeah. He was doing well as a rookie. Now you get a chance.
He had big news, but certain people don't play well with certain coaches and stuff. I don't know why. They don't believe in him or they don't have him putting him in the best position. So I don't. That might be a good sleeper pick though, but I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Think about the 49ers O line is not good at all.
Yeah.
So they won't even block well against. You know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we have for the day.
Hold on, we have an update.
Update.
Uh oh no, that's DK Live talking about Case Keenum and Cortland Sutton stack. That's interesting. Case Keenum, Cortland Sutton stack. That
Um,
goes.
I'm staying away from. I mean, any, oh
Yeah.
boy, he said any question about quarterback.
Speaking of 49ers.
Any question about quarterback? If the answer is Case Keenum, you're asking the wrong question.
Anyway, they
Huh?
said the best. Tony Robbins. He said the what makes successful people successful is asking successful questions.
Yeah.
And asking about Case Keenum,
No, sir.
not fantasy wise,
Nope.
but
It's a better version of Alex Smith.
right, right. So we'll see how it goes. Anything goes.
Thing goes.
All right, man. Rule number one.
Get the money
Money
first.
first. Rule number two.
Don't forget
Don't
to get
forget
the
to put
money
the money
first.
first. Signing out. Quay Sports. Like and
We out.
subscribe. Peace.